Hey, what's up guys, this is Martin here. Just wanted to record this video for you guys because this video right here might be the most important video I've ever made, because I'm sure a lot of you guys are dealing with this problem and this might be the solution to all of it. So we live in this society that heavily promotes losing and victimhood in general. That's why a lot of you guys are lost. You constantly have doubt. You always feel like you're not really in control of your life, and you don't know why that is, right? The world promotes things such as depression, anxiety. They're telling you to take these prescription drugs, these medication pills, right, to supposedly solve all of these problems. But I'm sorry to tell you this, but this is not the solution to your problems. And like the past weekend, I've gone through a revelation, and it really made me think about a very important concept. And it's actually a lesson from Stoicism. And the lesson is, you're always gonna be alone in life, no matter who you are. And when you first think about it, you're like, nah, that's not true, man. That's not true, Martin. Like, you can't be alone. Well, allow me to explain. Because at the end of the day, you can only count on yourself and your actions. That's the only thing you have absolute control over. The rest is irrelevant. Like, sure, I mean, in some sense, you can't really be alone, because, I mean, you have your parents. If you might have a wife, you might have a girlfriend, you might have a husband or whatever, you might have kids. Okay. But those are your surroundings. But these people can't make life-altering decisions for you, right? You cannot depend on them. You have to be self-sustainable. You have to be the captain of your own ship. And that's the whole point of this message. Because, I mean, a lot of you guys are always waiting for something to happen. A lot of you are always like waiting for some magic things to, magically, I don't know what I should say. A lot of you guys are waiting for things to just naturally happen. But it's not how it works. It never worked that way. You feel me, right? Like, so a lot of people have this mentality of, oh man, like, especially young people. I see this a lot with young people who are around my age, who are in their 20s, early mid-20s. They're like, oh, I have time. I don't have to deal with this. I'll take care of it when I'm 30, or I'll take care of it when I'm 40. But they reach their 30s, they reach their 40s, and their life still looks the same, except they have bigger bills and they're more in debt. Right? Sounds quite familiar, doesn't it? Because you have to steer your life in the direction you want it to steer. And it's always been that way. Like the other day, I had this very deep and thoughtful conversation with one of my really good friends. He's in the Forex business, or in the Forex industry world. And I asked him, I was like, man, like, think about what if they taught Stoicism in school? Like, think about all the problems that we could have avoided in today's society, not just in the present moment, but in the past as well, if those philosophies were actually taught. And also the problems that are going to occur in the future. Like, this is pretty cool, right? How many people would have fixed their lives like this if they had the right foundation? It would be hundreds of millions of people, if not billions. Except, I mean, in school they teach you a lot of completely irrelevant bullshit that you don't really gonna need for most of your life. I mean, unless you want to be a doctor, an engineer, or, you know, or something that requires a degree, okay, sure. Like you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer or something, but that's about it. Like if you have a degree in something like, let's say, arts or philosophy or dancing, like, is it really going to help you? Right, probably not. Like, we live in an internet age right now, and all the information is out there. You're just choosing to not act and take the opportunity. You decide, you've already decided that you don't want to. You've already decided that you don't want to take it on you, right? Oh my God! Sorry guys. There are just mosquitoes all around me. They want to suck me dry. It's crazy. So, but anyway, this is a completely different topic. But yeah, like, imagine how many problems we could have gotten rid of today if Stoicism was actually taught. And these people, these women, these men, actually had that core base knowledge to begin with. A lot of problems would have been solved today, right? It's crazy. But yeah, that's something to think about. But what's Stoic philosophy really? Like, Stoicism tells you to be confident, it tells you to hold yourself accountable, to hold your word, to take control of your habits, to take care of your mental thoughts, your attitude towards life. Like, really it teaches you really basic things that are so foundational, and at its essence they're really, really simple but hard to apply. It tells you to have, like, Stoicism also tells you to be emotionally mature, to also, you know, to not lie, to not deceive people, to actually care about the other person. You know, I'm not gonna get into this because this is a very, like, Stoicism as a whole is it's a big topic, but it mostly encompasses all these areas that I just talked about. Being a man of your word, being disciplined, having values, having strong boundaries, being mentally tough, having good connections, because it all starts with you. That's actually what Stoicism teaches you. You know, instead of looking at the world and being like, oh my God, why me? You're actually turning the arrow to yourself. You're like, okay, what can I do to actually change this? What can I do to make a shift in my life? Do you understand where I'm coming from? But yeah, Stoicism teaches you that you are actually responsible for your life. And you are responsible for creating momentum in your life, whether it's positive or negative. It all depends on you and how to actually create meaningful and valuable relationships with other people or other parties, right? How to make the other person feel important and respected and valued, and so on and so forth. That's really all Stoicism teaches you. And once you have that primary base foundation, you can build on it, right? You can extend that. And that's really the most important thing you guys can learn. Like, nobody is coming to save you. No one. And I know in this crazy world, like, society and people around you are probably telling you, especially when you're young, like, yo, man. Sorry guys, another mosquito terminated. But yeah, like, society today tells you that, especially when you're in your 20s, or let's say from 18 to 30, they're telling you, oh man, you have time, you know, you can put things off for later. You can, just have some fun, don't waste your 20s, grinding your 20s. That's the message that is very apparent today, right? But I'm telling you, it's just trying to steer you away from your path, from your mission in life. And like, I know society tells you that, you know, you always have time, that you know, the ship will come at the right time, and this is complete BS. Like, if you do not change your life right now, if you don't take that control of what you have at your disposal, it's never gonna manifest into reality. And the sooner you learn this lesson, the better you'll be, the better off you'll be. So, for instance, think of someone like Andrew Tate. Why do you think they had to mass cancel and mass ban him back in 2022? Have an open mind for a second. Think about it. And I don't care if you like him or not. Don't attack the messenger. Look at the message that he's telling you. Because at its core, what he's really teaching young men is that you should be a stoic. And most of his teachings come from Stoic philosophy. What does he teach? One, he teaches you how to be physically fit, how to be physically disciplined. So you're an imposing figure, and that way you can actually be a physical threat to other people, not in a good way, so you can protect yourself and your family. And you're no longer dependent on these pharmaceutical companies who are giving you prescription drugs and they're telling you to take these pills. So they actually will make less money when you're a physically fit, healthy guy. That's crazy, right? And second, he's also telling you to be financially free, so you can break free out of this slave world that we live in. And you don't have to be a millionaire to do this, but when you're financially free, you're no longer dependent on the government and their stimulus checks and their, you know, small little health checks. You can now sustain yourself, and you're no longer in debt. You no longer need to take credit, because you pay everything in cash. That's something to think about, right? And three, he also teaches you how to be accountable, how to be a real man, how to actually take control over your life. And don't be this lazy broke guy who wants everything handed to him. That's really what he's teaching you. And I mean, you know, especially, I mean, when I look at the comments or the people who hate him, I mean, I don't blame him, because he's ridiculously successful himself. I mean, he lives the life that 99.9% of men would have dreamed of living like him. And if you look at the comments, especially the negative comments towards him, you can always think about that type of character. It's always the same guy. Sorry guys, the camera just cut off for some weird reason. But yeah, like, think about the guy who hates on a person like him. He's probably 30, 35, 40 years old. He lives in his mom's basement. He's overweight, he's eating pizza, he's drinking beer every single day, he's playing video games. And yet he's on the computer being a keyboard warrior, right? Having no profile picture, having a private profile with 10 followers, and he's commenting on Andrew Tate's videos. Oh, he's promoting fake masculinity. He's a rapist. He's a fake alpha male. Like, what the fuck, man? It's crazy to me. Like, a person like that doesn't see the hypocrisy behind what he's talking about. But I mean, and that's actually another thing. And this is actually another thing that I forgot to mention. Because society today heavily promotes, you know, depression and mental illness, which Andrew actually made a really good point right after his cancellation on Rumble. He said that society promotes, you know, mental health and depression in men, but as soon as someone like him comes around, all of a sudden he's a threat to them. Why? Because now, if he helps more men and women take control of their lives and not be dependent on these huge corporations, now, you know, he takes a big percentage of clients from them. Now he's a real threat, because these people don't need them anymore, right? Like, what does society promote today? Society promotes, you know, depression, mental illness, feeling like a victim. They want you to have doubt in yourself. They don't really want you to accomplish anything. They just want you to fit in, plain and simple. While someone like him, you know, when he comes around and he's telling you to be physically fit, he's telling you to be financially free, how to be the man that you always wanted, how to be responsible, how to be accountable, how to attract better females into your life. And then that cycle will just repeat itself. And more children will come to this earth, and society will be a much better place because of men being better. That's really what he's teaching. I mean, I know he got, you know, he's in Romania right now because of his, I think it's an assault case or a rape case. I don't really know what it is. But the funny thing is, all the women that worked with him back in the webcam days, they actually went to court and testified against him. Like they were like, no, he hasn't done anything to us. But supposedly you have this one victim that BBC interviewed back in 2023 who claimed to be raped by him, but yet there's no evidence after almost 2 years now. It's just crazy, right? I mean, all of this is BS. This is all an orchestrated attack. Because they want to attack traditional masculinity. And it all starts with men. It all starts with us. It doesn't start with females. Like, females can, you know, they can scream and complain and bitch about things, but they don't really do anything. But men, like, as soon as men get pissed, they start to riot and they make revolutions. We are actually the backbone of society. So, I'm not saying women are not important, but it's just that we both need each other, and we are all here for different reasons. So, but yeah, like that's the most ironic thing. Like, society, you know, heavily promotes mental illnesses and depression, but yet when someone like Andrew suddenly, you know, gives people solutions to all the problems, now he's automatically labeled as, you know, a misogynist or a fake alpha male, which is really sad. But I think most people agree with what he's saying, but they fear saying it out loud. I think that's how most people can agree with him, but most people are just triggered. They know it's the truth, but most people are just, they're not honest with themselves. And that's how most people live their lives. They're fake honest with themselves. They're fake honest, and they don't want to admit that they're wrong most of the time. So, but yeah, it's been a long video. So thank you guys for watching. I know this is gonna solve a lot of your problems. Like, remember, you are the solution to all your problems. Don't look around. Don't look for the sky. Don't look for other answers other than yourself. You are the solution to all your problems. It all starts with you. So fix yourself first. Okay? So have a beautiful day, guys.